this guy was using his position of power and influence in the community for his gratification.
Yeah, maybe. I just need to see him using it. If women are attracted to him and want to show them their because he's a big popular guy, I don't care about that.
Most of the people who've come out strongly against you seem to have quite a bit of evidence.
So we're just supposed to take your word for it until you decide to show us the proof, if you even do?
Every content creator knows there is a power dynamic they can exploit. He knows the power dynamic aspect.
Clearly, the power dynamics have shifted. You can make an allegation against somebody and their life is ruined. The power dynamic argument is dying.
You ain't never told me you in all kind of gals DMs sending them this, and the next thing.
She's making a conspiracy narrative of that because she's not aware that he's flirting with girls means that he has like a predatory sense to him.
To be sliding into everyone's DMs who might like his content, way overstepping.
Who cares? It doesn't mean you're violating a boundary because you're hitting on women. I'm not trying to be that guy, but is this why like young men are so terrified of hitting on women? So far, the worst case scenario is he's just annoying, which doesn't mean it's good, but like we haven't seen any proof of him doing anything predatory. Looks like you guys voted for this video. We need to talk about why leftist men keep getting exposed as creeps. Ooh, you know what's even scarier? It wasn't on the screen. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in this. I was curious about it from the Cavernacle. I just feel like part of the reason it really is just because there's a higher standard on people on kind of like on the left, right? Like that's the like, hey, be more progressive, care about women, blah, 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 blah. You know, you have other people in other spheres that like legitimately traffic women and it's like, yeah, we don't care, dude. Like they don't care over there in like the red pill sphere because like they literally think women are objects. So part of it I think is the standard that we set ourselves to, but let's see what this video is all about, baby. Let's see what this guy did. Let's see what Noah Samson variant 3 has done.
Another leftist male content creator gets exposed as a sex pest. Everyone's making jokes about how this happens all the time. But they're not wrong. It does.
Leftist men do be horny. They do be viral.
Seem to happen like every couple months that a prominent person on the online left, or maybe sometimes liberals, gets outed as some sort of sex pest. And I guess with this video, I just wanted to talk about that. I want to talk about misogyny on the left. I wanted to talk about just like power dynamics of creators, this kind of thing.
Men do be horny, you know what I'm saying?
It was like a culmination of two videos I made, one about online misogyny and one about why...
Obviously, it's not okay to be like a sex pest, you know what I mean? I guess also depending on how you're doing it. Because I saw something that this guy might have, and I don't know if I'm right, I'm sure what's stated here, might have been like leveraging his power as a content creator a little bit. You know, it's one thing to be a whiny fuck, which is not good, obviously, but it's another thing to like leverage your power as a creator in some capacity. That's definitely like super wrong. That's not just like cringe fuckboy behavior. That's like, that's kind of predatory, if true.
Do so many content creators get outed as bad people? Now, in that video specifically, we are talking about people across the political spectrum, across loads of different content niches, and a lot of what these people did wasn't really related to them being like a sex pest. So you had Mr. Beast treating his work as like absolute crap, among other things. The worst...
I don't really remember that being any meaningful allegation. Are we over-validating Dogpack, who is like a fucking prolific lying idiot fuck?
Things he did were related really to how he runs his business. People like Asmongold, who've just said the most terrible shit imaginable. Like, you get the picture. Like, these people have all said and done things that are bad.
Not like Hasan. He's definitely a good guy. I think this guy's in the Hasan's orbit, so... or maybe I have fucking Hasan derangement syndrome. I don't know.
But why it's different in like left-wing spaces is, of course, we are meant to be left-wing. Left-wing people believe in equality. They're meant to be feminist, anti-capitalist, socialist, believe in the good of all humanity. And then you get loads of men who are prominent in this space using that power to do a variety of things, mainly regarding their treatment of women and the LGBT community in the pursuit of sexual conquest. Now, the thing is, I'm going to drop some names in this video. And of course, some people have faced like very terrible allegations which are like heinous and illegal, including things like sexual assault. And the scale of it isn't the same for everyone. But what these people all share is that they're supposedly male feminists, they're socialists who want equality for everyone, but still use their power in the left-wing community to help with sexual conquest or actually terribly abusing people. And I want to talk about maybe like why that is, the hypocrisy, and just generally how being a leftist man doesn't mean shit when it comes to things like misogyny. And I was very open in my video about online misogyny about passive misogyny. So what we see with conservatives is often like very, very active misogyny, where they're not even trying to hide it. Actually, my last video was all about that. It was conservatives arguing, should they be monogamous so they can control women in one relationship, or should they have multiple relationships where they control multiple women? Fundamentally,
based, I guess. What?
Conservatives aren't shy about saying they see women as property. But I think generally with leftist straight men and straight content creators, we're more impacted by things like passive misogyny. So a lot of our misogynistic tendency...
Well, you know what's so interesting? I know somebody in my real life who like, very left-leaning, you know, very, very, very left leaning. You know, at least what they say they advocate for, right? But then like they kind of struggle to be present for their kids. You know, and I've noticed that like there's a lot of feel good advocate, like advocation of like, yeah, like let's feel good about what we're talking about, but not really like more meaningfully advocate in a productive way that, you know, or not meaningfully like be present in a productive way. Like it's probably better that you take care of your kids and you respect your wife and like you know, or you're available to help your wife split the burden than it is for you to actively advocate for, you know, Black Lives Matter. Honestly, you know, I'm just saying. Not that it's bad to advocate for that, but no, you should probably take care of your house before you fucking try to clean someone else's. So,
or misogynistic coverage of reaction to things, or misogyny that seeps into our actual content, it's not something we're even actively aware of. And I'll speak about that in a bit. But then you have the other angle of people who are active misogynists but use their leftist politics as a shield, and they are active misogynists in private, and that's obviously in how they regard sex workers, non-binary people, trans women, any man who's pursuing some sort of sexual conquest. So I just want to talk about all of this today, but let's first talk about the main focus of the video. That is a content creator called Loloverruled. Now obviously I just
saw that he was in Hasan's orbit or something, or that's like I just saw like I think like a Yeats post or something about it.
I've been in this space a lot longer than most. I would say, even though I started my YouTube channel in 2017, I'd say I've been in leftist spaces since 2018.
Or not the Lolberg guy. Apparently he's a big TikToker. I have no idea who the fuck he is.
So I've seen creators come and go. I've seen creators pop out of nowhere and then rise. This guy became very prominent very quickly. I think he first became big on TikTok, and that was for videos on him being a public defender, I believe, and also just general politics. And then he became pretty big on Twitter as well. I remember him.
Yeah, and then probably got to him. Girls were probably interested in him. He started feeling like a king, and he started feeling like he could say and do whatever he wanted, dude. Bad boy.
Going viral and getting bigger for things like criticizing Mr. Beast. And generally, he had a lot of connections in the online leftist space.
The fucking Mr. Beast hate is so overblown. It's so annoying. Like, I'm sure there's things to criticize him for, but like the whole dog pack video came out. One of the things that they said was like valid. Everything else was like made up verifiably. It's like, oh my God, you guys really just want to hate this guy. It's so fucking annoying. He seems like one of the better, you know, rich people. He seems like one of the nicer guys that you could possibly be, especially for a rich guy. Why are you fucking shaming him out of existence? You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
Seen him collab with people like Ole and people like Hasan.
Whoa!
The most exposure he got to like wider leftist audiences was consistently featuring on Hasan's stream, and they appeared to be friends. Now, I had actually seen people talking on social media about him being a creep.
Is this Cavernacle guy fucking Hasan Orbiter? Is he not?
Creep. For quite a while, but they were normally just talking amongst themselves in like comment sections when they were talking about like leftist men and stuff like that. There hadn't been like multiple allegations against this guy, and ones that went into more detail.
I'm so excited for the allegations.
And as of the time of me recording this video, people were saying more stuff is going to come out, not just about him being in people's DMs and being like a general creep and being a creep in person. In that,
but what does a creep mean? I unfortunately have seen video evidence of him being a sex pest. He sent a video of himself jacking off in the bath to a sex worker friend he was DMing on Twitter. Oh well, I mean, were they having a sexual conversation? I don't know.
He keeps propositioning loads of women. He has sent videos of himself doing sex acts in people's DMs.
Well, listen, he's allowed to send himself jerking off as long as there's moaning. Right, because guys, you guys need to understand something. When you send a woman a pee-pee pic, consensually, obviously, make sure you get consent. Let me give you some tips. You can't just show the wiener, okay? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely absurd. You guys are just like, let me just show my dick. What the fuck? Have you ever seen a painting of a woman or a painting of anything? Do they have a background? Yes. So why aren't you adding accents? Balls need to be in there. And if it's a video, there needs to be whimpering. Okay, this is a fact. So, guys, up your game.
And
also, the consent part's probably the sexiest part for women, or so I hear. That sounds like I don't get consent. So let's. Okay. I just meant I don't talk to women. Okay, guys.
And lots of people who
I'm an incel.
Don't want to talk about the explicit details have said he's also been creepy to them. And I saw Ole put out a video, and she said she's hearing more stuff's going to come out about him actually being an abuser.
It's kind of fucked up that Ole didn't get any of the creepiness. That means he's racist and doesn't want to sexually harass black women. Fucking racist. All these leftist guys only sexually harass white women. You notice that?
Not something that I was obviously privy to. I was completely oblivious to whatever the fuck was going on.
Guys, I was completely oblivious. I just come from a community created by a sex pest, full of other sex pests. I've gone to brothels and ditty parties. But guys, I could never see it coming. If you can't see it coming, bro, what the fuck is wrong with your radar?
And it's a betrayal of my trust. I don't know what else to say. Apparently, and I don't know the full details of what's going on, but I heard like bits and pieces.
Hey, I guess some people have seen bits and pieces of
like potentially being abusive.
Damn.
And
Yeah.
And
you do push dog whistle, like anti-Jew dog whistles. Didn't one of his guys just get banned? Mike from PA just got banned for saying that like Jewish people are demonic. That was insane. Like that's disgusting. Like that's the rhetoric. He uses the term Zionism as a dog whistle for all Jews. That's why he's sitting there saying, guys, when those 2 Jewish people were killed, I'm not saying it was that it was a false flag, which means that he's insinuating Israel did it so that they can play victim. I'm not saying that it is, but it seems just like one, but it's not. He's dog whistling. Okay, so like not for nothing, but I think that Hasan is worse than an abusive partner. I mean, he he fucking dog whistles that Jews are less than people all the time. So
I didn't know enough about what was going on, but it was enough for me to like, sever ties.
Whoa.
Sex pest doesn't seem. It feels insufficient. It feels woefully insufficient to describe not just like what people are talking about now and he's being publicly accused of, but like what I am hearing behind the scenes is the case. Like to echo some of what Hasan's sentiments were in the video that he was hearing about him being abusive.
Whoa.
Similarly, that is what I'm hearing about, and that is what I anticipate that the public is going to start hearing about more soon.
Well, let's just fucking wait for that. Let's get that down to the speculation.
I
want to see what that looks like.
I don't have much that I could say other than like I am so fucking disgusted and disappointed and blown away.
But even if none of that stuff actually comes out, it's pretty clear this guy was using his position of power and influence in the community for his sexual gratification. And
yeah, maybe. I just need to see him using it. I don't. If women are attracted to him and want to fucking show them their tits or something because he's a big popular guy, I don't care about that. What I care about is him actively saying things like, "If you show me your boobs, I will make you a content creator," or "If you don't show me your boobs, I will ruin you as a content creator," or "If you report me for me showing you my penis, I will ruin you as a content creator." These are the things that I need to see. I need to see an active leveraging of power because I really am not interested in women who are like attracted to men that are like successful. Like I don't care about that. Like I don't give a fuck about any of that. We don't care about groupies. So I'm not going to care about this guy potentially having that. But it could be much more insidious than that.
It says so much about how he views himself, how he views non-binary people, trans women, and how he just viewed
them. The fuck do non-binary people have to do anything?
As sex objects for him. And regardless of if this guy had a sex addiction, which apparently he wrote about and stuff.
Whoa.
It doesn't excuse his behavior.
Epic Gooner sounds like a pop. Gooner, guys, let's go.
Yeah, I just don't see it as a defense. So it seems like...
I don't think I have a sex addiction. I think I have a porn addiction.
Like, Loloverruled tried to get ahead of everything. He was talking to people about having a mental breakdown.
Hey, gang, sorry for no piece yesterday. Things have been hectic for me recently. I might have a friend or two write a guest piece in the next week or two and then get back to it. Having some mental health stuff happen, getting to a breaking point. So I'm going to an intensive outpatient of one of those fancy type places in Connecticut. Be back in not too long. Hopefully. Thanks always for your love and support, Alex. Okay, so I kind of want to see like the receipt of this motherfucker actually going to some kind of outpatient facility or whatever, because I feel like people just do this shit all the time where they're like, I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna go get help.
And saying he's going to go away for a bit, but he did respond to the allegations after a lot of people came out and condemned him from the online community.
Is any of this factual? Like, do we have any facts? There's a lot of they said about my behavior. I'm absolutely embarrassed and ashamed of myself in many instances and have been a real asshole. I don't deny that at all. I know many people are disappointed, and I am disappointed in myself. I have hurt people emotionally, and I've regretted immensely. I do want to clarify some things. Yes, I have slid into a lot of people's DMs. I think I didn't really think of it as a huge deal. That isn't a huge deal, but it's clear I did not fully grasp how some people could feel about that. Even think I was some kind of famous person. I don't care about that, which I have never felt honestly about myself. And always like I literally will never care about if. Here's a hot take. This guy might have done worse, but here's not even a hot take. If a famous person DMs you and you feel compelled to send them your tits, you're a baby and you shouldn't be online, right? Like I don't give a fuck. Unless, like, if he threatens you with this platform, different conversation. But if a famous guy DMs you and starts flirting with you, and you're like, I have to keep flirting with him or he won't DM me, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that. I do care if he leverages his platform, and I want to see that. Not all the messages shown. Possible there are miscommunications and conversations misread, but I take full responsibility for making people uncomfortable. Again, this is not meant to be an exhaustive apology. It really isn't. I'm sorry to the people I've made uncomfortable or hurt emotionally. I know it doesn't matter to some. To some want that. What? It doesn't matter to some wants that. Okay. I don't want to be a piece of shit guy. I have been. I think the way I have acted has not been in line with my character and does not reflect the kind of man I want to be. I am seeking help to better myself. I'm sorry if it took so long. Okay, cool.
And I just want to read it for you. And some people are saying, and I'm just going to talk about this as well, that in left-wing circles, we believe in rehabilitation. And if he's going to go do the work and he apologizes, then maybe one day he could be accepted back in the online space.
Well, I got to see what work he needs to do before I give enough of a fuck about any of this.
I dispute that for multiple reasons. I don't think rehabilitation means you deserve to come back and have a massive social media platform amongst the left-wing audience. But let's talk.
Well, don't you think that maybe, like, unless I don't like Hasan, so I probably won't like this guy that did this thing supposedly. But like, don't you think that this purity culture is going to fuck people in the ass? Also, don't you think it's like almost relatable for some men to be too pushy on women in a non like super predatory way that other men could like learn from and be like, oh, that's a bad behavior?
About his statement. So he writes, "This is not my full apology, and it isn't meant to be. I still need some time to figure out how to do that and what that looks like. There's a lot being said about my behavior. I am absolutely embarrassed and ashamed myself in many instances and have been a real arsehole. I don't deny that at all." Okay, he's saying he's embarrassed, ashamed, arsehole. "I know many people are disappointed, and I'm disappointed in myself. I've hurt people emotionally, and I regret it immensely. But I do want to clarify some things. Yes, I slid into a lot of people's DMs. I think I didn't really think of it as a huge deal, but it's clear I did not fully grasp how some people could feel about that or even think I was some kind of famous person, which I have never honestly felt about myself, and I always feel like a random internet side character."
I like to see, as on the screen, I'm assuming this is the guy. Not a sort of surprised I don't have a Wikipedia page at this point. It's self-involved to think I am that delusional. So basically, what we're showing here is this guy does think of himself as a big famous person, so he looks stupid when he says this, which I do agree with, but also, again, I don't care if he's sliding in DMs as long as it's consensual.
That's bullshit. "No, I did not send photos unsolicited. It may have been the case in some instances that I genuinely misread the conversations we were having, but no, I didn't just randomly send something. No, I have not threatened anyone. I saw something to that effect being said. I do believe some of what's being said is genuinely libel and defamation.
Okay.
I'm not, however, interested in arguing with people or suing or anything like that. It's also entirely possible there was miscommunications and conversations misread, but I take full responsibility for making
it's possible
people uncomfortable. Again, this is not meant to be an exhaustive apology. It really isn't. I'm sorry to the people I've made uncomfortable or hurt emotionally. I know it doesn't matter to some of you now, but I'm glad this stuff is being talked about in a way. It's forcing me to actually look at myself hard in the mirror and do something about it. I'm going to be pretty off."
It's probably, I mean, depending on, we might see some information next, but this is generally not the worst apology, honestly. It's kind of decent. It's I think it's a little too preachy. Like, it's okay to slide into people's DMs, but for the most part, like, yeah, maybe this is true. Maybe there were some unintentional boundaries crossed or misinterpretations of stuff. Maybe this isn't like the worst apology, unless we legitimately see him like threatening people in DMs or something, or like blatant violations. This might not be that bad.
Offline for a bit, doing an intensive.
But we're starting with the apology, not with like the actual allegations. So,
outpatient program. I don't know what will happen next. I may never come back to the internet in the same capacity again. I don't know. I want to do better, and I genuinely want to make amends to the people I've impacted. I hope some people will give me the opportunity to do that. I do not expect it at all, but I'm always available to listen and talk if anyone wants.
Yeah, I see people like, oh, how do you misread a conversation? I think you can misread a conversation. I think men are very stupid when it comes to like a lot of things, and could be they need to be more direct, and like there's a problem. I need to see the conversations that they're having to see if it's even a possibility to misread it. I would need to see that.
I don't want to be a piece of shit guy. I have been. I think the way I've acted has not been in line with my character and does not reflect the man I want to be. I'm seeking help to better myself. I am sorry it took so long. Accountability is a weird thing. You can really only take
seeking help. What the fuck?
Accountability for yourself. If you want to pretend something isn't a problem, you can try and weather any storm that comes and pretend it isn't real. I don't want to be that way. In the very least, I would like to show what accountability looks like. Really cannot express how sorry I am to all. I'm just going to flag my problems with it. The bit about libel and defamation and suing people, or not suing people, I think is just like emotionally manipulative. Are we meant?
But what if it's true? Then it's not anymore. I don't know. I need to see the allegations to make these determinations.
To think you're some sort of good guy because, you know, we know you know the law and we know you are a lawyer, right? You're not going to sue people who are coming out with stories about you being a creep. Firstly, I don't know how you'd prove a lot of that is defamation, and most of the people who've come out strongly against you seem to have quite a bit of evidence, so you're not noble for doing that. And I feel like this middle part of the statement just undermines everything he says. Like, sure, you're saying you can only be accountable to yourself, but it seems like you aren't taking accountability.
I feel like you're doing the wrong thing here. I feel like you're starting in like the wrong direction. You're starting with like the apology instead of the actual allegations. Like, it makes, I don't really know why you decided to go in this direction with the presentation of information. It's strange to me, and it's very uncoordinated.
You acted shitty. You should admit it. You should go away. You shouldn't even talk about coming back online.
Like, if you're somebody who's like a viewer of this guy, and like he's basically just telling you that this guy's an asshole without any proof yet, and it's like, oh well, we don't know, so we're just supposed to take your word for it until you decide to show us the proof, if you even do. I don't know.
Because no one gives a shit about that, and that's what I'm saying with the rehabilitation thing. Yes, in a socialist society, we believe in rehabilitation and not just like locking people up forever and letting them rot. In theory, rehabilitation doesn't mean you get everything you had back. Like, for example, if we're dealing with like an abusive husband or father or something, and they've crossed the line, they've done something, and you want to rehabilitate them, it doesn't mean they have to come back and be in their children's lives or be a husband again. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, we want to rehabilitate.
Well, you probably should be in your children's lives, maybe not be a husband again. I understand the general sentiment, but maybe you wouldn't get like full custody of your kids, right? Like, but okay.
People, and
I guess it depends on how far you've gone. Okay.
Bring you back into society. It doesn't mean you get everything you had before, because you've affected people's lives, you've hurt people, and you have to admit that, and that is all on you. And taking accountability is not deflecting, not talking about how noble you are because you won't sue people for defamation over this, and also the counterization of his conversation, saying like, oh, I didn't really understand what kind of conversation we were having. It's so clear he was pushing the boundaries in so many of these exchanges that it's wild that he's even framing it like this. So
I wish it's not clear to me because you didn't show us anything yet, so it's not really clear to anybody. You're just saying that.
Probably surprising no one. He deleted this apology because it makes him look even worse, and also I think exposes some of the worst traits of leftist men in general, just the way they talk about these things. They know, I wouldn't call it necessarily therapy speak. It kind of feels adjacent to that, and it feels very like weaponized and very much designed to try and get people to feel bad for him and forgive him. And to me, this strikes me way too much as a guy who's thinking about how he can survive this and how he can come back. And what this was trying to do was set the stage for this comeback. Set the stage where he can say, yeah, I've worked on this. And even him talking about people talking to him about this, like who are accusing him, I'm assuming he's saying, yeah, it's wild. So I want to talk about some of this a bit more, but Ole put out a good video today where she spoke about it, and she knows him personally, right? Like a lot of us do not know him personally.
I feel like we're not going to get any fucking information out of this. This seems like a huge nothing burger. So far, we have like some people talking about it. Where the fuck are where is the actual information? All right, so far, like everything I'm looking, I can't find actual physical, tangible proof or evidence or a DM or anything that's damning.
You know, Loloverruled, the character online. And one part of it I want to play you. I'll link it. It's on Twitter, so you might not have that. But she basically says that he knows better. And the sex...
Does he know better? What do we got here?
Addiction stuff is not an excuse. Like, he knows the power dynamic aspect. He knows all of it.
I don't care about power dynamic. I'm so bored of power dynamic bullshit. I'm tired of everybody who talks about power dynamics. They're all stupid as fuck. Every single time people talk about power dynamics, they talk about it in the dumbest way. Every time somebody online that's like famous tries to fucking rizz up an adult, they're like, oh, do you understand the power dynamic? Okay, why? Like, where is your cancellation for any music group that has groupies? It's not there. I don't care about power dynamics. Stop using terms like power dynamics as your new fucking blueberries. It's a superfood, guys. It's a superfood. It's an antioxidant. Shut the fuck up. Give me some shit. Did he leverage his platform? Did he threaten somebody? So far, it's just a bunch of people being like, he was doing this, I guess. He was like kind of mean to, show me something. I'm so tired of power dynamics. It makes people look so fucking stupid.
So even the little part about, I never see myself as an e-celeb is laughable.
I don't care.
I'm way smaller than him. I had way less followers than him.
I don't care.
And I understand the power dynamics of a creator.
I literally don't care.
And people who are fans of your content.
I don't care.
So the fact that he can go on the biggest streamers...
What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to have a power dynamic over somebody? They like you, so they're willing to have sex with you? Wow, it's called attraction. Like, I don't care unless you leverage your platform
multiple times, that everyone in that community knows who he is, and they know he's friends with Hasan, and then act like no one knows who he is absolutely wild, and he does fucking know.
I'm blown away, and there's just no
excuse
for it, because the
this is so fucking stupid.
reality is Alex knows better. There's just no world. I see people.
Does she show DMs in this? Why does this matter?
Floating around all these different like things, calling him like a sex addict and all these like different.
Like, honestly, some information could pop up, and hopefully somebody finds something that's like actually information that we could use, and I could look stupid, I guess. But like, so far, there's nothing here.
Excuses and stuff that I'm like, I'm not sure where that's come from. It's like Alex and I are not best friends. Like, I don't know everything about the man, but I've known him. I don't know the man to be a sex addict or any of these things. None of this has been presented to me, and I say that to say that feels deliberate, right? Like, he's an attorney, he is a leftist, he's all these different things. He is cognizant of exactly why what he would be doing with the things that he's being accused of or what he's been doing is wrong. He knows, period, point.
What's he been doing?
Like the end of it. He also knows what the consequences are. He knows all these dynamics. There's nothing that he does not know. So there's just no excuses that could be made for him on that front.
This is why people aren't left-leaning, because you guys are exhausting with like the rules you have. If you're famous, you're not allowed to fucking talk to people who aren't famous. Who is he allowed to date? What's happening? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? I love the power dynamics conversation is always so funny to me, because like we do power dynamics and it's like, yeah, if you're famous, you can't talk to a non-famous person. And it's always from leftists, and they always ignore groupie scenarios, which are literally that. They don't care about when Ozzy Osbourne does it, but when fucking dipshit fuck Magoo with 500,000 TikTok followers does it. If somehow it's worse, I don't really understand that. But like they talk about power dynamics, and these people on the left, they're like, their biggest thing is like, hey, there's power dynamics in everything. There's power dynamics in men and women. That's true. Does that mean that anytime a man has sex with a woman, it's always sexual assault? There's power dynamics with race. Okay, does that mean that you can't be interracial couples anymore? We're not allowed to do that anymore. What about financial power dynamics? Like you know, there's power dynamics far beyond just famous power dynamics. So basically, based on what you're saying, we all need to stick to our same sex. We have to all be gay because there's a power dynamic between men and women. We have to all stick to our own race because there's racial power dynamics. We have to stick to our same finances. So poor people have to sleep with poor people, rich people have to sleep with rich people. We have to all stay within our intelligence level. So like stupid people have to just date other stupid people. We all have to stick to our same level of like attractiveness because, you know, the halo effect is a power dynamic. You see how stupid this logic is? If somebody leverages their platform against you in some way, shape, or form, if they say, if you don't do this for me, I will ruin you, or if you do this for me, I will help you, and like, so from a sexual capacity, or they threaten you after it or something, or that's an abusive power dynamic. That's it. Okay, if they're pushy in DMs, that's just wrong in general. Power dynamics don't matter about that. And frankly, we're at a point now where like if somebody oversteps a line as a content creator, they're fucked. Based on just allegations. So far, from the release of this video, we have no proof of anything so far. So, you know, clearly the power dynamics have shifted. You can make an allegation against somebody. I don't mean to sound red pill, but you can make an allegation against somebody and their life is fucking ruined. So the power dynamic argument is dying at a rapid rate, frankly.
And as far as all this, and I can only come to the conclusion.
Also, okay, sorry.
That he knows what he's doing because he's.
I don't know what he's doing.
I've never, in all my time, you've never told me this. You ain't never told me you in all kind of gals DMs sending them this, and the next thing.
Why would he ever tell you about his private sexual business? He knows, because what's happening here. Again, we haven't seen any DMs. We haven't seen any actual proof. What's happening here is that we're just telling you, she's making a conspiracy narrative about that because she's not aware that he's flirting with girls in private means that he has like a predatory sense to him. He knows what he's doing. And the fact that he's not sharing with me means he knows it's wrong. Really? That's so weird because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to go around telling everybody about your sexual escapades. This makes no sense at all.
Friend that I was not reading the Substack to know that this was how he was giving it up. There's just no excuse for it. There's just no excuse for it.
So yeah, I just thought that was important as someone.
It's not. It's so it's one of the most unimportant things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Who knew him, just to kind of dispel the notion that
some other content creator that knew him, that's like very interested in looking good publicly. Wow, who would have thought audience capture was real?
Like he was a sex addict who...
Unless you're a stupid fuck that doesn't know how to present information and you decided to leave the presentation of proof for the end of the video. This video is a big nothing burger.
Got in over his head or something like that. Now let's talk about the content creator angle. And let's talk about...
Let's talk about the evidence.
Power dynamics. Like we see this a lot with men, especially in this space, who use their platform for their own sexual gratification. And we have numerous people who've done that. But in terms of the content creator like dynamic, so regardless of what people like him say, every content creator knows there is a power dynamic they can exploit. And I've said this before.
There's a difference. So, okay, exploit is a very important word here. How did he exploit it?
You know, you can create an audience of people who will rabidly defend you and will be insanely invested in your life. Now, before we actually elaborate on how that works, great examples of this, because people in Hasan's community who like Loloverruled would not believe the allegations, and some of them were crazily defending him. Like I saw this on Twitter, someone saying, "I'd like to apologize for the inappropriate way I reacted to the news regarding Lolo. I've developed a very unhealthy parasocial relationship with his content over the last 5 years, and I reacted very immaturely and with great suspicion towards the allegations. I'd like to apologize."
That sounds like a you problem. If you're that much of an unhinged freak that you fall in love with somebody that much that you don't even know, that is a you problem. Mommy and daddy need to fucking raise you better. I don't know what to tell
anyone I made feel uncomfortable. Now, this person was basically in every thread, like, doubting the allegations. And this is obviously...
Yeah, so what changed their mind? Can you show us that?
Like, a result of just content creators in general. You're going to have these crazed fans.
A lot of you who think that you are principled leftists are just parasocialists, okay? You are just, like, chronically online, and you're going...
Dude, this space is exhausting. Watching... I'm not even trying to be that guy, because I'm pretty left I'm on the left more. Like I believe in what like social reform and like you. I mean I generally believe in like UBI. I honestly I come from the perspective where we need to expand welfare and also reduce where we can overregulation, which is why I'm a big fan of like a universal basic income, because and universal healthcare, because universal healthcare is a way that we can reduce regulation. What's the current regulation on universal healthcare or healthcare is like, oh, businesses have to provide it based on how big the business is and how many hours their employees work. That's a regulation that I think has a negative impact, because bigger businesses can afford that and they can push to automation, and smaller businesses can't, so they're not going to be able to grow. If we have a universal healthcare option, all of a sudden we deregulated and we expanded welfare in a way that's good for small business. So that's where I'm at, as you know, and I'm generally somebody on the left. So I will generally believe in a policy that is an expansion of welfare, especially now that we have AI taking away jobs and driving down wages, but also a deregulation, because I think that the regulation, even if it's well-meaning, can be burdensome. Right, but like, to be honest with you, I will choose the right over whatever this is almost every day of the week. This is fucking crazy. Honestly, this is exhausting to be around. You could say that like, oh, well, that's fucking like, oh, that's shitty. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I this is so hyper policed. I'd rather not. It's exhausting. I couldn't be around people that are so willing to just like talk about things without any presentation of information or proof. It's exhausting. It's insane. This guy could be like a bad guy. We don't know yet. This creator has not shown us anything other than some people saying some stuff that they heard from other people. Okay.
With whatever man that you're a fan of says. And you wait until, and I know, I'm going to call your asses out. I know that there were those of you who waited to hear Hasan.
It really just sounds like a bunch of people that are like fiending to be like the good guy. I'm the good guy. Here's my take. Bad, 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 bad. Maybe they might be a really bad guy. Where's the proof?
And that was only then when you were condemned, because you are not actually principled. You are a parasocialist who gets all of your opinions from your Twitch streamer.
Okay.
And I am not blaming Hasan here, but I am talking about the people who are living in these very narrow worlds where you don't listen to queer people, you don't listen to women, you don't diversify your sources.
Well, so far, I don't know if this is about this guy, but there are just no sources here so far. So,
and so
I think she's speaking generally and not about this topic.
Shit happens. You are no different than the people on the right who you think you are superior to.
But there's also an element people don't talk about. They act like this is completely natural. And in some ways, this is always going to happen. But people like Loloverruled, and he's not a unique example, they cultivate this audience, because even the way he would tweet would be like, "Are you guys mad at me?" without the question mark. His annoying style of tweeting is why I unfollowed him or I muted him or whatever back in the day, because it was always just trying to get people to reply to his tweets in a way to like validate his own personal feelings. He had a private Twitter account, which I didn't even know about, where he was tweeting like more like sexually graphic things, just generally. He had a Substack, and I think he had...
Ooh, cares? What is that? Was he talking to kids? Why do I care about this? The private Twitter where did people know it was him? Did people like that? What does that matter? Isn't it a form of sex work? Like, you're complaining that he doesn't respect sex workers, but like, isn't him having a private sexual Twitter some form of sex work? No?
Had paywalled articles in there as well. He had his TikTok. He had all these social media pages, and he was a guy who cultivated parasociality. And what that looks like is people being so invested in the community they're creating and making it so important to their daily lives.
Guys, he had a Patreon. He's really playing at the parasocial behavior.
Okay, cool stuff, man. Awesome.
These aren't people often like Loloverruled, and I'd say streamers like Vosh and a couple others. They're not people who are like, I am going to put something out into the world. I'm going to create content, and that's going to like help educate people. It's going to help with the discourse. It's going to make something better. They're people who are primarily motivated by social standing and clout. Okay. Not saying they don't believe what they say.
Well, there is like actual evidence that Vosh fucking jacks off the fucking freak shit. So like, cool. Can we show some information?
But you can
somebody please find me any proof so I can review it? This is ridiculous.
See how certain content creators act. They really care. And content creators who often talk about everything, I'm always super suspicious of, because I'm like, why are you living your life so online? Like, why are you pursuing this validation so
I agree with that question, but towards you.
Hard? Because I guess I come from it at the angle of, I'm left wing. I want to put out my opinion. I want to educate people. I want to put out something that people will like. I'm not so much interested in becoming besties with everyone. Honestly, I really do not want a community of people who are like all obsessed with me and stuff.
Cool,
and
me neither, but I'm not going to fucking virtue signal about it without any evidence.
I don't know if people notice, you might have. I've had a channel for ages. I really steer away from cultivating parasociality and seeking validation online as much as I can. Of course, I do that, but I don't want to get too personal with people. And
okay, so serious question here. I mean this wholeheartedly. Why don't you guys apply this to OnlyFans workers? Doing OnlyFans is almost exclusively a parasocial business, where typically men who are lonely go and pay for porn from porn stars. And by the way, I'm okay with it. They're adults. They should be able to engage correctly. And if they can't, that's kind of on them. But I find it so interesting that we're like fucking lampooning this guy because he's apparently playing into parasocial behavior, because he's like, LOL, are you guys mad at me? But like, what about the people who generate the entire point of doing OnlyFans porn is to have a closer connection. The idea for a guy is to go in there and watch them like the person so much that they're willing to pay even more money than just getting something for free and feeling a personal attachment to these people. That's the whole point. That's a fact. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, so like that is what they do, and it's fine. Like, do that. Like, I'm not even shaming the business. Like, do your shit, man. Catch your bag. Like, do what you're doing. But like, how are you guys sitting here being like, oh, he's disrespectful to sex workers? Then you show no evidence of him doing anything wrong. Just some people virtue signaling about it without actually showing any proof. You taking it as a fact, but then having a double standard for his content versus somebody who does porn. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Is it just okay to manipulate men? Is that the intent? Is that what we're saying? By your logic. That's your logic. What is it?
I do respond to DMs on Instagram mainly, and there's a few nice interactions I've had with people and a few people who've been kept messaging me over the years since I was very small, who I really appreciate. But at the same time, I often like ignore them. They go unread for like...
Wow, that's so nice of you. I'll take a look at the internet versus video after we're done. This video came out 2 days ago, the internet versus video. So that information is publicly available by the time this video comes out, which came out yesterday. So
like months and months, because you have to balance your real life with your online life. And I feel like creators who have normal lives and don't really create these communities.
Holy fuck, guys, he's telling us how much better he is than everybody else because he has a normal life.
Online centered around them are, in my opinion, less likely to be exposed for doing something like bad. Because I think the common thing a lot of these leftist men
I think it's just so weird because like it's usually like what's your offline life like truly look like? When you get offline, are you still on Twitter all day? Like, what do you do? Are you married? Are you planning on having kids? Do you have kids? Like, what's your actual, like, who grounds you in the real world? Do you have a girlfriend who has like a real career, or does she just ride off you? Or what are you doing that makes you so terminally offline? Maybe compared to some of these people, but like, I don't know. It seems like you're not that offline because you're willing to take fucking like allegations without proof so far. At least you're not showing it to us, and then just be like, yep, this is true. This is true.
Share is a lot of them are just super online all the time, creating communities that center around them and their opinions, and really encouraging the over focus on them personally, and I guess oversharing in like private chats, and that could be on like private Discord servers as well. I feel like all of these things make your audience go crazy or attract the worst type of people to your audiences, like this person here saying, I've had such an unhealthy parasocial relationship with his content for 4 to 5 years. Now that he's been outed as a sex pest, I have to go on a rampage defending him from all allegations because I've tied up my personality so much in this guy who I think I know. And yes, that's a certain personality type is going to do that, but you have to create the environment for that person to get obsessed in the first place. And for as much as
this guy a lawyer? Your argument now is that this guy is like he knows exactly what he's doing and he's going after the most vulnerable of the vulnerable. Based on what? He's not what?
I have criticism for like video essayists. I do appreciate how they don't do this. Like, you just have your video essays, you put them out, you might have a little community, but it's not absolutely insane and centered around you like you're some sort of king. And especially for men, content creators who are men in this space, you know you have the power. You know you have the power to do this. And
especially men? Why especially men? I'm a little curious about that. What does that mean?
You know you have the power to exploit relationships with people for whatever means. Like, it could be financial, could be about getting sponsorships or better collaborations. And for a lot of men, they use their online leftist community as basically a place where they can pursue some sort of sexual conquest as well.
What?
And they see no issue with it. And they know more people will be receptive in this environment.
Guys, I'm actually the most virtuous person here. Just so you know, I don't know if you know this. I'm actually the nicest guy here. It's fucking insane.
Than if they were in the real world, and
I'm the goodest guy. Come guys. I'm the goodest guy in the world. Come look at me. Come here. Come and check out my content. It's much better. I'm a very nice guy.
also take it to a greater extreme. Now, if you're someone, let's say like Loloverruled, who also has some sort of sex addiction, you can see why he would absolutely capitalize on this power.
Can you show us where he actually said that, other than he's going to go get some help? Like, what is...
dynamic to be sliding into everyone's DMs who might like his content, way overstepping.
Who fucking cares? I don't give a fuck if he slides into everybody's DMs who likes his content. I don't care. I literally do not care. I do not care if a content creator is spending all day browsing through their fucking followers, going, "Oh, she's hot. Let me message her." As long as they don't say, "You better send me your fucking tits, or I will call you out for being a fucking weirdo." I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Okay, does it make the person kind of a weirdo? Sure. Does it make it predatory? No, it makes them like a fucking weird, annoying gooner. But like, that doesn't mean you're violating a boundary because you're hitting on women. What the fuck are you talking about? This is, I'm not trying to be that guy, but is this why like young men are so fucking terrified of hitting on women? Because holy fuck, guys can't catch a fucking break.
The boundaries. And if he has a sex addiction or whatever.
This is the most red pill I've felt in like fucking months, dude. We're fucking all about anti-red pill content and shit, but not today. Today we gotta fucking just be so goddamn confused.
I don't think it really matters, because I feel like it's way more calculating of, I am going to create this community like this and then do the thing. So I don't...
Guys, I'm a fucking predator. I'm creating a parasocial community so I can basically internet rape women. That's what he's saying, by the way. He doesn't want to say it like that because it sounds crazy. That's the argument. He's saying that this guy was creating a platform just so that he could find vulnerable women to take advantage of. That's what he's saying here, just to be clear.
Think it's like some sort of addiction which he cannot control. It might make him worse, but as we've seen with people who don't have these sorts of addictions, they do the exact same thing too. They overstep the boundaries of people in their community, and they also have the blanket of, well, if you say anything, everyone else likes me, so I can just say you're lying, it was a misunderstanding. You've seen...
Maybe, but can you show us proof?
In the absolutely wild shit people will defend their favourite content creators for. And in the leftist space, obviously the biggest one was all that Vosh stuff with the horse folder. And legit, loads of people were saying I was anti-LGBT for saying he was a creep for having that. But that's what you can do with a weaponized audience. They can defend you no matter what. Now, let's talk more about...
You're literally calling this other guy anti-LGBT. And you're saying that people would defend Vosh saying you're anti-LGBT because he has the stuff he has? Don't you see the parallel between... I guess, I don't... Like, you're saying this guy's anti-LGBT because if you don't agree with what you're saying. I'm so confused. I don't know. Maybe there's not a parallel there. The whole thing is so confusing because we haven't seen any proof yet.
The misogyny in like online leftist spaces. And I guess you could say a lot of what we spoke about already is misogynists capitalizing on these environments. Now, I've spoken to my sister about this a lot just because I've seen it firsthand when she was like dating when she was a bit younger. I said, men lie. Men lie about their politics. And
wow, men lie. Women, they don't be lying at all.
I was saying to her this more in regard to, you're going to get men who say they're more liberal, but they're more conservative. Wow. And that happens all the time, of course. Men know, especially...
Is this guy married or dating? He gives me the vibe of he's like the guy that doesn't have a girlfriend that gives you relationship advice.
These days, that women tend to not like conservative guys. But not that I discussed this with her, but I think is something we should talk about as well. Video. That a lot of leftist men...
This is just giving me like, hey guys, I'm safe. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a safe guy to interact with.
Believe in things in theory.
Period.
So they're not pretending to be leftists, a lot of them. Like, they are actually leftists in theory. They believe in these things in theory. They might constantly talk about patriarchy. They might talk about all of these like gender dynamics, gender norms, like liberating women. In theory, they believe in that. And I think as men, in terms of passive misogyny, yes, we can understand the systems like, patriarchy, capitalism, all this stuff that makes us act a certain way. We can understand that and analyze it. It's a lot harder to practice it when you grow up as a straight man and a straight white man in the UK or America, where the world is designed for you, so you don't actually even have to challenge your own prejudices. And I spoke about this pretty openly in my video about online misogyny. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not trying to depict myself as the like uber male feminist, because
You kind of are, though. You pretend you're saying you're not, but you are. You haven't showed any proof yet. Uber male feminists take allegations without any proof. So I'm
not trying to do that, and a lot of people seem to think I'm doing that whenever I talk about these subjects.
Maybe you should take some of that feedback and go like, oh shit, why do people think I'm a fucking virtue signaling cuck? Like, not unironically, dude. Where's the proof? Yeah, not once have you ever said maybe this isn't true. You haven't showed any evidence, and you haven't said maybe this isn't true.
The thing with misogyny for men like us is you don't even realize it, and sometimes you feel yourself thinking something or reacting a certain way, and you have to take the time to think, why did I react that way? So here's a recent example for you. You guys know I love football, right? I'm pretty good at football, and I was watching...
Guys, I'm pretty good at football. I love football. I'm pretty good at football. Ladies, I'm not one of those uber feminists, but by the way, I understand power dynamics, and I love football. You want to see my abs? What is this video?
The women's Euros, and obviously like massive credit to the English women winning. It's actually good to see England win for once. And I was watching the penalty shoot.
What happens when you want to be like a fucking philosophy channel, but but you couldn't make it, so you have to centralize everything around drama. By the way, I love drama. It's fucking fun, but I'm not trying to be a goddamn philosophy channel, okay? Unless we're talking about the philosophy of femboys actually being girls. More girls than regular girls. Okay, let's be fucking real.
Outright. And a lot of the penalties were terrible. Like, they were just bad penalties. and like they were kicking it kind of like mid-level to the keepers, like left or right, easy saves. The last penalty taker, Chloe Kelly, just absolutely smashed it in. Great penalty. Well, I was thinking when I was watching that, I was thinking, I could take a better penalty than that. Like, of course I could. I take a better penalty. And then it's just like that impulsive reaction of like, well, if I was watching the English men do that, would I have that reaction? Would I be like, I can take a better penalty? If I was a woman, I would be in the England team. Like that sort of ridiculous mindset. And then,
what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying right now? What the fuck are you talking about? What does this have to do with some fucking lawyer being potentially weird with girls? What are you even saying right now? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is this have to do with anything? This isn't like a side tangent. This is you brag about how you're good at football and you pretending that you're really aware of your gender. What is this?
And you step back and you think, that's so stupid that I think that. It's like those people who think they can like win a point against Serena Williams or some shit. It's not as bad as that, but it's kind of like, of course, if I was a woman, I would not be in the England team because I'm not that good. And also, I've not got the insane mental toughness that these women have to even play under pressure and stuff. I'm not even factoring into like a penalty shootout in a Euros final. Like, that's why the penalties are
my God, he's a sensitive guy. He's so good at sports, but he still doesn't think he's better than the best woman in the world. Holy fuck. I want to fuck this guy. I want him to fuck my pussy. These are the tactics, by the way, that these weird fucking leftist people use to try to get you to fuck him. Like, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? What the fuck?
Probably bad because the pressure is absolutely insane. So it's just like that sort of reaction. And I say that to say that's like passive misogyny because I grew up in a country that devalues women's football so much.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to like see, is this guy dating anybody? Do you have a girlfriend or something? He has his travel channel down. Is this your girlfriend or your sister? 10 years with Holly Grady. 10 years, it sounds like a long time, but when you get to spend so much time with your best friend so quickly, can't believe we've been together for a decade, and I'm grateful we've always had each other through the years, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it sounds like this, through the amazing and tumultuous time, it could be your 20s, from university to shitty jobs. Okay, you guys probably, I don't want to weigh in, but if you're in a relationship from 20 on, you're probably, might not be lifers, but you know what? I don't care. I don't know why this video comes off as ladies. I'm a really good guy. Please date me. I don't know. This is fucking crazy. He's married to the game. True, dude. Fuck.
And that's always in the conversation. And sadly, as someone who exists in a football community in England and plays a lot of football.
Guys, I basically understand the best relationships ever. I've been in a relationship since I was 15 years old. How old is this guy? This guy's 29. He's been with the same girl since he's 19. Okay, he doesn't even understand relationships. He understands one relationship. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. I don't care. This is stupid.
It's really not uncommon to hear people talk badly about women's football. And even that I know, and I've made the argument that the reason...
women's football is not very entertaining. They're probably not as good as the guys, okay? He's talking about soccer, by the way, just to be clear. Gotcha. You shouldn't shame women for it. This is a virtue signal. I'm a really good guy because I think women that are in sports should be respected. Great. Thanks. I really appreciate that.
Women's game in England isn't as like good technically as the men's game. It's because they don't have the funding that the men have.
Well, it's because they're not as good. They're fucking women. Women aren't as good at sports. Like, it's okay. We can acknowledge that. Like, we're not going to die. It doesn't mean that women suck. They shouldn't be valued or be able to do sports. But like, holy fuck. Like, what are we doing? What is the productive nature of this conversation right now?
You don't have the funding to create this insanely competitive environment to give you similar results to the men. Like, there's nothing about being a woman inherently that makes you worse at football. But again, that's...
Dude, okay. If you say so.
It's the passive misogyny of my like instinctive reaction to this stuff. And
Holy
that's
fuck.
why you have to keep thinking about it in your brain. And it's really hard to...
It's really... What are you talking about? Women are just not as good at sports as guys. Like, biologically, it's okay to acknowledge that. I don't understand why. Like, we don't have to use it as a dog whistle to hate women. You can acknowledge that without hating women, right? Like, there's a difference between acknowledging that or versus using that as a way to say women are less than. Women are not less than. But it's still true that men are better at sports. Why is this the hill? Who are you? Go outside, dude. Like, what do you do? What are you talking about? Like, this is just a non-logical take. Hey guys, I'm a feminist, and so what I like to do is say that women are perfectly equal. They're not like worse at football. There's just not like the socioeconomic structure for women. No, women are worse at all sports than men, except for curling, because it's basically mopping the floor. No, okay, it's okay to acknowledge that. It's not okay to use it as a dog whistle to say that women are less than. Women have biological advantages too. You know what it's called? It's called like birthing babies. Okay, so women are like very valuable and they're great. I love women. They're fantastic. They don't have to be the same at everything. They don't. But this guy is like fucking like really trying so hard. He's just like his entire, I guess, intellectual foundation is saying women and men are equal to each other. Like what? Like I don't understand. Like where's the nuance? Where's the intelligence? Who is this reaching? This isn't reaching anybody who goes outside and like sees anything on the TV or anything. I don't understand.
Unpack that shit. When you live in a society that doesn't challenge it, you exist in like very masculine communities. Like, I've existed in the football.
Yeah, you seem very challenged.
Community. I've played football my whole life. Been in these environments where there is elements of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and all this stuff. And then
who are probably true. It doesn't mean that women are as good at it.
People really standing up to saying these things that even make men like have a second thought about these things. Of course we don't. Like we live in a very socially conservative country in many ways when it comes to these things. So sometimes it's very hard to even realize you're biased. And then like myself and lots of leftist men, in theory,
that's very interesting. We live in a very socially conservative country, in a Western country that's more like objectively more progressive than like pretty much any other country in the world. Okay.
You're great. And you might even practice that to a large extent in the world. And I would say that's for most leftist men. You probably do that. But then
this is literally like this guy sounds the exact same as the dude I was talking about before, who like talks about how women are like amazing and like so are minorities and shit. By the way, they are, but then doesn't like take care of their kids. Like this guy gives me the same fucking energy. It's like, what the fuck?
Passive misogyny at the back of your mind where you'll let misogyny go, you'll let people say misogynistic things in front of you, you won't really practice what you preach, and in some ways that's a result because you're a product of your own society. And
is this the rest of the video?
Yourself, you might exist in certain groups that are just completely male-dominated, so you don't even hear the counter-arguments. And I'm saying for most leftist straight white men like myself, that's like the baseline you grow up with, and then you have to actually challenge yourself. And how many leftist men will admit they've had misogynistic thoughts, like recently?
All the time, yeah. I have misogynistic thoughts. I understand that. It's okay to have negative, bigoted thoughts as long as you understand that they're negative and bigoted and you fight against them. That's okay. It's okay to do that. You can have those thoughts. They're not good, but like you're going to have them because you're grown up a certain way with certain teachings, for sure. But thinking that men are better at sports than women is not a negative, bigoted thought.
How many leftist men will talk about their own misogyny and how it's like a constant process of like questioning your own beliefs and interrogating your own beliefs? How many leftist men will do that? I wouldn't say many would do that. And I find a lot of...
Dude, he's a good guy. He's such a good guy. He's actually the goodest guy. You hear what he's saying, right?
Leftist men who wouldn't ever say anything bad about themselves. They're perfect on anti-racism. They're perfect on anti-misogyny. They're perfect on trans rights. They're perfect on Palestine. They would never say a bad thing about themselves. This is all just posturing for social media, and especially with left-wing.
Most of this video is just him talking about how much of a good guy he is. Holy fuck, this is so self-centered. Holy shit. This video is, hey, a guy has some allegations that I don't have any proof for. Second half, I'm a really good guy who loves women, and they are exactly equal to us. And if you disagree, you're a racism and a bigotry. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck is this? Literal certified nice guy. Like, this is insane. This is fucking preposterous. Honestly. Fuck.
We'll do that. I wouldn't say many would do that. And I find a lot of leftist men who wouldn't ever say anything bad about themselves. They're perfect on anti-racism. They're perfect on anti-misogyny. They're perfect on trans rights. They're perfect on Palestine. They would never say a bad thing about themselves. This is all just posturing for social media, and especially with left-wing male creators, something you have to remember, of course, there's an incentive to not talk bad about yourself. There's an incentive to not tell people you did X or Y. There's no incentive to say you haven't been perfect about something. So for a lot of these creators...
Apparently there is, because well, I mean, you're not even saying there's bad things about you. You're just saying how you are so good at acknowledging your bad thing. Okay, cool.
They're never going to admit it in the first place, and they're never going to have that open discussion. And if we don't have that open discussion as straight, like often white leftist men, then we're never going to get any better. Like, are we all just going to pretend that none of us are influenced by a misogynistic society and we're all just perfect? And when something comes out about someone like Loloverruled, we just pretend, oh yeah, that's just the one bad one. He's gone now, the one bad one. There's no misogyny that exists in this community at all. Of course there is, and there's different levels of it. Like, I would say most men are probably way more passive of it, but there's loads of active misogyny in online spaces framed as edginess or humour that people just accept or think's funny, and it's just a level of acceptance we allow. And it even comes across in like the content you make and who you target and how much you criticise people. Like recently I had some criticism on my video about BreadTube, my second one, because the main focus of the video was ContraPoints and Philosophy Tube, but also included a little bit about Jessie Gender, so that's 3 trans women in a video about Israel and anti-Semitism. And when I'm making that video, of course I'm thinking like, oh yeah, like this is my video's thesis, these 3 people said the bad things, better call them out. But I'm not really thinking, oh, it's actually just 3 trans women. It's me as a straight white leftist man calling these people out, and not saying they didn't all deserve the criticism to varying different degrees, but it's a good thing to keep in mind, because then if I go make another video about that, and another video about that, and another video about that, and I keep making videos about the same 3 people, the same 2 people who happen to be trans women in a leftist space, then you have to think about like, well, then why are you comfortable to keep milking that? Why are you comfortable to keep making that content? It becomes excessive. And I guess for me,
or maybe you just see trans women as regular people, and so you're fine with criticizing them for their opinions. We've gone mega woke, guys. We can't criticize people too much if they're trans, even if they have shitty opinions. I don't even know if ContraPoints has shitty opinions. I'm just saying that this is his take. You cannot criticize trans creators for having disagreeable opinions too much, or else it might be transphobic, I guess. Wow, I love that. That's definitely not pedestalizing people and making them uncomfortable by treating them like they're others. That's great stuff, man. I love it. I understand that some people overly focus on certain groups of people. But, you know, if you actually have a good reason to criticize them, it doesn't really matter that they're trans. You can criticize a trans person. It's okay. We'll survive here. We got it, guys.
The debate in my head would be like, oh, is it excessive or is it not? In my head, it was a one and done initially, then it was a two and done, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I still understand that criticism of, you know, you are this straight white leftist man in this space, and you're going after these free liberal leftist trans women creators. And
Crazy.
You haven't really thought about how that might even look. And while I would describe myself as woke, I have made videos about woke fascism and the dead end of liberal identity politics. I'm not going to not criticize someone because their identity might be marginalized, but I still understand the arguments about this. So and it's just like a process. So I do feel there can be an element on the left that can be a too black and white. Like if someone has made a genuine mistake and they're very sorry and we accept it, I have no reason like moving past that. And there's been plenty of people in this community that have. I think Hasan has made like plenty of mistakes and he's apologized for a few of them and you just move on or whatever. I don't think...
I guess he is a Hasan fan. He seems like the kind of guy who pretends to be a Hasan fan because he knows his audience wants him to be, but he doesn't really like Hasan too much. That's the exact read I get on him. I'm probably right about that because I'm right about everything because I'm a straight white cisgendered male and we are right all the time about everything. So just keep that in mind, guys.
We're expecting anyone to be perfect, but I do think there is a toxic element because of parasociality that just want to forgive people no matter what.
By the way, this video is about a guy who might have been inappropriate with girls in private. Just to be clear, this is what this video is about. A guy with loose allegations that might be a bad guy. Maybe.
If you can frame it in a more like, let's say, lefty woke way of you have an addiction, you really need help, this is what you needed, you're going to go away, you might never come back, you're not going to sue anyone, you're too honourable. But at the same time, I think there's very much a difference between letting people evolve and move past their past mistakes and rehabilitating terrible people to the point that they can come back and not be accountable for what they've done and continue polluting the space with their content and with their just personality in general, where it isn't a safe space for marginalised groups, women, and just anyone, because you have these people who will exploit their platform and will target people and will hide behind these audiences and hide behind their proximity to like the big content creators so they won't be held accountable. Now, if I could say a final point about all of this is that a lot of people do not want to believe the worst when this type of thing happens. Like you saw so many people defending Loloverruled initially.
Me when I don't instantly bandwagon? Yeah, there's some people who want to defend this guy that we haven't seen any actual proof for these allegations. Those people should, they're fucking fascist, Nazi, communists. Blah, 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 blah. What are you doing? Why is this how you want to be seen on the internet, dude? What is wrong with you? Fuck.
Saw some of these wild people just like defending him from anything.
I
would just say to everyone is content creators, yes, you can appreciate their work. You don't know us.
Yeah.
And that goes for everyone.
Yeah.
You
That's
really
so
don't
crazy.
know us.
You don't know
what we're like personally. You don't know.
I know you. I actually do know you. You are an obnoxious virtue signaling fuck that is so desperate to seem like a good guy, you are willing to jump on a bandwagon about a guy being a bad person without proof. You felt the need to make a meaningful video because you need content, I guess, about a situation that you don't have enough information on. That's it. And you know it's acceptable in your space. So you're going to do it and you're not going to get any pushback. That's exactly what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. You act like you don't really know us. I know you. I could tell. You're an easy read. You're like a fucking dime a dozen. Like, you're annoying. Okay, cool stuff. You don't really know us. I know you're talking about people like from Parasocial perspective. You're an easy read. You're not like the super complex anything.
Know how we treat people. You don't know how we treat people in our own lives. You don't even know how we treat people online in like private settings and stuff, right? You know nothing about us. So I would say, and this is a good thing to remember for everyone, and this is why I try and not cultivate this in my own community. I would say, enjoy people's art, enjoy their content, and maybe you think they're a nice guy or whatever, but do not get that invested in their real lives. And I said multiple times, I don't really care about my audience in that I don't know any of you. You're just a massive hive mob
guys, I'm
who watch
such
my videos.
a
How I
good
view
guy.
you watching this video, how I view you is people who might be receptive to my ideas.
I'm such a
like
good
them,
guy. I'm such a good
boy.
boy.
Criticize, engage
Oh,
with.
I'm such
I
a
don't
good
want you then
boy,
to come and talk to
mommy.
me,
I'm
trying to be
such
my
a
friend,
good
because I don't want to be your friend.
boy.
I do not want to be friends with anyone just because
I'm
of
such a
and I'm not doing
good
this to crack community. I'm not doing this to crack friendships.
boy.
I obviously appreciate
Everybody
everyone who
tell
supports my
me
work.
I'm
I
a
appreciate
good
you taking time out of your day to
boy.
watch this video. Support me on
I'm
Patreon.
a good boy.
And
Support me on Patreon. But I'm not Parasocial, but support me on Patreon. I'm a good boy.
support my work generally. And I'm hoping you support my work because you like my work.
I'm a good boy.
Not you like me. Because you don't know me. You don't know me. You know
Shut
me
the fuck up.
as a content producer and as a like character on
Oh
Instagram.
my
You don't know
God,
anything
dude.
about me. And that goes for all
This guy's corny as fuck, dude. Fuck.
your favorite creators. So there shouldn't be some reaction to defend or giving someone the benefit of the doubt automatically because you think you know them. You don't. We are not people in your real lives. Like if Loloverruled was like your brother or your son or whatever, we're having a very different conversation, but he's not. He's a
I call my brother son because he shines like one, boy. That's what I have to say.
Content creator you liked, and he's done this to other people in this space who are both content creators and random people as well. So if you care about the space and you care about the left online in general and not just one person, then your solidarity should be to the people coming out against these people, not reactively defending your favorite content creators.
You can do 4x! You can do 4x on YouTube now. This guy's again. This is amazing. Oh my god, that's true. Screaming over the whole video is the most unique way to make transformative content scene. It is pretty good, Brian Beard, but also, it's not the whole video, just the last couple of minutes, because this guy sucks, and I'm assuming he's your friend, okay? I just have a feeling. I don't know why, all right? You don't suck. I'm not saying you suck, okay? I'm saying this guy sucks. But you can do 4x. 4x! Oh, yes, I've been saying this my whole life, by the way. Okay, I've been saying everything he just said my entire life, dude. I totally believe everything he said. That's exactly what he is. All right. Let's see if we can actually get some real allegations here. Like maybe we get some proof because we didn't get any proof in the Cavernacle's video that this guy's a bad guy. Maybe he is. We have not gotten any proof in that 35-minute video.
Made his name on platforms online against leftist content creator and attorney Loloverruled, who made his name on platforms like TikTok and by showing up on streams with Hasan Piker.
Whoa,
the allegations
Mr.
range
Parker.
from being pushy about soliciting photos from women in DMs to threatening women that if he hurt them.
Oh, dude, look, we've seen an allegation. We didn't even get to see these in the Cavernacle's video. Let's see. These are the allegations that exist. This could have been a Cavernacle's video. We didn't get this. So let's see what we got here. A content creator threatened me saying if they ever hurt me, I would be powerless because more people like them, and it would be so easy to call me a liar and ruin my life. That might be true. Can you show me proof? I need that.
He could get away with it because he has a lot of clout online.
All right,
and generally people calling him a pest. Along with this, podcaster Ethan Klein weighed in and calling Loloverruled Hasan's best friend and a token Jew.
I posted a picture in his merch, and he sent me dick pics and asked me, STD results to make sure I'm clean enough. Fuck that dude. All right, cool. Can you show me proof? I don't need to see his actual dick. I just need to see the screenshot. Let's see it.
With Hasan also responding and condemning Lolo, saying he's already
because as much as we like Ethan Klein, he's very petty, and he will go off the cuff without strong evidence.
Distanced himself from him. Lolo went private shortly before these allegations came out, along with putting out a lengthy statement in response.
All right, this is the guy
denying certain parts of it with his fellow friends and podcast co-host.
We saw these things.
Host is dropping him.
Whoa.
Welcome to the internet versus Loloverruled. It starts when a Yeet tweets out, Loloverruled is being called out by some in Hasan's community for allegedly being inappropriate to and about women.
All right.
He had recently privated his Twitter, stating he's not ready to talk about it all yet, and currently in the midst of an intensive outpatient therapy program.
Damn.
And he attaches multiple screenshots, the first one being a tweet from Loloverruled.
Oh, okay.
Where he says, not ready to talk about it all yet, but there are things I want to talk about and have been mulling over how to even do it or if I should in public. I am, however, in the midst of an intensive outpatient therapy program, which is good. Don't know when I'll be back. And another tweet where someone named Katana Speak says, the girls are saying Loloverruled is a sex pest and a serial abuser. White cis men are fucking trash.
That's crazy. Can we see proof? They're saying, can we see proof? Listen, I've seen what men can do and I've seen what women can do. And guess what? They can both lie. I need to see more proof than that. Because I've also seen how narratives can run out of control based on the sphere that they are in. Okay, we have got a loose allegation with no actual proof other than some people saying something without any actual evidence. And we've taken it and we've run with it because we are in the very far left community where everything is over police and everything is virtue signaled. Okay, this is not it. This is literally like lighting a match and just standing around a bunch of gunpowder and gasoline and it blows up. It's like, oh, who would have? That's what this is. Meanwhile, if I just lit the match in like an open area without a bunch of explosive things, it would have been fine, right? So like, these allegations are the match. Is there some kindling? Maybe. But can we show you some of some firewood? Show me some firewood, okay? We need to be in like an actual better space. I need to see actual proof or something. There's like 1,000 allegations from people. Why don't we have anything tangible?
And where Katana continues quote tweeting most interesting man, a parody where Loloverruled says on his alt account, I got to a point where I was fucking so many people from behind in bed. I had an out of body experience and I directly connected with Leonardo DiCaprio wearing his sound canceling headphones as he bangs, and I finally understood.
I don't care about this. Was it consensual?
Perpetually alone, Peter Pan, never grow up. Fucking one of the hottest women you've ever seen in your life and feeling nothing. Have almost become a big enough person to let go of something a dickhead on here who some of you like and who I tolerate said to me 5 years ago. Pretty cool of me. And
these are all within 2 days of each other. I don't understand. Like, when were these taken? Were they taken? I don't know. Okay.
Katana quote tweets it saying, "Holy shit."
Holy shit, what? I don't care that he's had sex with a lot of girls. I don't care. Did he do anything wrong? Can you show me that?
Mutuals have begun blocking me over this. Sad to see people siding with the predator.
How do we know they're a predator? Who's this dumb fuck?
Protecting abusers is more convenient than protecting survivors because our culture and fascism work together to ensure this. And he attaches another tweet where someone named Jessica Starling replies,
"Who the fuck is this person that's like talking like this?"
Unfortunately, I have seen video evidence of him being a sex pest.
Awesome. Can we see something?
He sent a video of himself J-O-ing in the bath to an SW or friend he was DMing on Twitter.
Okay. Is there context to that? You can't, not for nothing, if I hear he's jacking off and then he sent it to a sex worker, maybe they had a sexual relationship. I don't know if you guys know this. Usually sex workers are more open about sex and the boundaries are different. Can you show me something? Okay. And not for nothing. Like, I don't even know. Because right now what I'm hearing is potentially this sex worker showed you a dick pic from this guy non-consensually. So I don't know if he's a predator because he sent unsolicited dick pics and the girl showed you, or if he showed them consensually to the sex worker and then she showed you, which makes her actually a disgusting freak. Does it not? That's some kind of revenge porn. Shouldn't be doing that. What's the context?
And Katana replies, "Oh my god." And
oh my god, that must be true.
Post where Visions of Damsel says, "Where can I read more?" He's locked his account, and if you go through tweets made to his handle, it seems like his followers keep replying to a tweet he made that's likely said he's going offline or off Twitter at the very least, and are all being sympathetic towards him. And Katana replies, "I don't know where you can read about it, but I know it was shared through word of mouth, but I'm sure more people will be speaking publicly on the situation soon. People have started to cut him off for his problematic behavior towards women. I assume that's why he went private." Now, Ethan Klein catches wind of this and screenshots of someone quote tweeting Katana, where the quote tweet by someone named Akar says, "I posted a picture in his merch and he sent me a D pictures and asked for my STD results to make sure I'm clean enough. Fuck that dude." And Ethan responds, "Hasan's best friend just got outed as a freak. Lolo." More like, "Uh-oh. Sorry, Hasan. You will need a new token Jewish sidekick to validate your hate." Now, apparently after this busted open 420 actually deactivated their account, Yul tweets out, "What happened to Car's account? It's just gone."
It feels like we're not going to get any actual evidence here.
And Jezza says, "Wouldn't be surprised if people are being weird and harassing her for calling out Loloverruled." And Yul replies, "Yeah, Ethan is." And the girl with the microphone says, "Ethan harassed her? No. He shared her story in support." And Matt says, "As a woman on the internet, you should know how irresponsible it is. Ethan definitely knows better because he and his wife have been the target of harassment. You're either being disingenuous or obtuse. In either case, you should be disappointed in that response." And that girl with the microphone says, "Hey Matt, I don't think you should be telling women to
I think anybody signal boosting this is being irresponsible if there's no actual proof.
Disappointed or how to feel in general." But back to the statement by Ethan, Dragon Ball fan account posts this on the RH3H3 production subreddit, and former bed replies, "Let's see Hasan's next move," ignoring this. And Roglar says, "Why should I care about some text taken out of context when there's a literal genocide going on?" And Throwaway Slay says, "He spent weeks ignoring the Codico stuff until he could no longer ignore it with the D'Angelo Wallace video. People were asking in chat about it for weeks and getting banned/timed out. He had been hanging out with Tana and was good friends with Noel Miller, but I guess those associations weren't enough justification to talk about it. Maybe Hasan thought the scandal would just go away. Hasan just goes wherever public opinion takes him and has no real conviction."
Okay, this is Hasan. H3 weighs in. Cool. Hasan responds. Cool. Another allegation. I'm just gonna skip to another allegation because I don't care about these people's responses to this stuff. Another allegation. Let's see.
Know about it. Then Twitter user Marina Dove XO quote tweets an old post she made a couple weeks back.
Okay, a content creator threatened me saying if I ever... Okay, we already saw this.
Saying, "This is about Loloverruled." And in the post, she says, "A content creator threatened me, saying if they ever hurt me, I would be powerless because more people like them. And it would be so easy to call me a liar and ruin my life." Cool. They then attach another old post they made where they said, "A content creator in the middle of mutual flirting said I didn't respond with nudes fast enough, so they went to my OF instead, after making it a point that they didn't sub out of respect."
I don't... What? Okay, so this person's an OnlyFans creator. You guys were both mutually flirting in private. Then he said you didn't give you nudes fast enough, so he subbed to his OF. I don't know. I need to see the context, because if I said this, if I was flirting with a sex worker and like we were mutually flirting with each other and the conversation was probably getting sexual, I might bust their balls and say, "I'm just going to go look at your news on OnlyFans if you don't send me something," maybe as a joke. I need to see the actual DM.
In another post, "I know a content creator that about 6 other people I know
I don't... Okay. All right.
have complaints about it being a sexual creep to all of us." Honey says, "Blocked now."
What makes him a creep? Dude, not for nothing. It's just so weird because like when you do sex work, you're deciding to change the boundaries of sex. And so like I need to see more. Because like it's you guys are mutually flirting, and then like I have to see what happens. I don't need to see any pics. I just need to see what happens. I need to see the conversation. I need to see like what this is. This sounds like a big nothing burger.
Post, "I know a content creator that about
this is a big nothing burger that's blowing up because Ethan Klein doesn't like Hasan and is trying to like go after Hasan in some way. So he's over validating every single thing that he sees. And that's like, I like Ethan, but like that's what's happening here so far.
6 other people I know have complaints about it being a sexual creep to all of us."
Cool. You have so that's 7 people. Can you guys show us a screenshot?
Honey says, "Blocked now because what the fuck?" And Marina replies, "And he's a scumbag who used the vanish mode on IG, so all of those convos are gone."
I don't believe. I don't care. I don't care about that. Oh, is this somebody that uses Snapchat to send porn? I don't care. How convenient for you to be able to claim that he's a fucking creep. Okay, then we have nothing. There's nothing here. He talked to a bunch. You have 6 friends. You're a sex worker, probably 6 sex worker friends. You guys all sexted with this guy probably, and it doesn't exist because he didn't want, like, he's basically using Snapchat. Like, that's what Vanish Mode is. Okay. I guess that sucks. I guess you guys should carry cameras on you at all times so you can take a picture of your screenshots. It's very convenient for you that you can make an allegation and then prove it's his fault that you can't prove it. This is a big nothing to me.
Sweetener Matcha says, I believe it. He suddenly went dark on his Twitter saying he was in a bad spot.
I don't believe it because everybody's dogpiling this guy.
Until Ian was going to therapy. Now,
dude, this is fucking insane. How, like, I feel like I'm like red pills fucking this video. This is actually fucking insane.
You know why? And Sock says,
we have a DM drop. There's a DM drop. We have a DM drop soon.
The harm they cause and claim they are working on their
issues. Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Channel 5 did the same shit, and now he's making a comeback. Of course.
Well, that's a little different. Andrew Callan's a good guy. We don't have to relitigate that whole situation.
Of course. Then Yeats tweets out this clip with the caption: Hasan strongly condemns Loloverruled while discussing Lolo's allegations.
So on Twitter is drama. If it's related to Alex Lolo, then that's not drama.
I don't care. I don't really care about what Hasan has to think about this. I'm really more interested in the DM drops.
Freak. Over on r/Hasan Piker, anonymous meatbag posted DMs with the title Loloverruled's DMs are starting to leak, and yeah.
Gotcha.
Messages where
we got something. How's that? Okay, I'd rather have you sitting on my dick looking so fucking good. Don't message me again. This one's pretty damning if true. It feels like there's probably missing context here though. What the fuck? This one's kind of damning. It seems like there would be more here. I don't know what got is and who is this person. I want to see more, but this one is potentially damning. I need a little bit more. This is sex bestie. It's not predatory, but it's sex bestie. Is there like
Lolo says got, and someone replies, how's that? And Lolo says, okay, I'd rather have you sitting on my D. And then later says, looking so fucking good. And
you can see there are messages above. Oh, you can. See, this is my problem. I need to see more. What are these messages? See, this one is potentially damaging. 0 riz. Allegation 0 riz. But what do these messages say? How did we get to this point? What did we see? Where are we? I need to see more of this. I need to see the messages before.
Person says, don't message me again. And more messages where Lolo said,
I have a partner, by the way, but we're open, if that's okay with you. Well, seeing as I'm all the way in New Zealand, haha, LOL, got any pics for me? LOL, oh hey, there's a bunch on my page. LOL, so this is mutual flirting, so this means nothing to me.
I have a partner, by the way, but we're open, if that's okay with you. And the person replies, well...
Oh, actually, this might be... Okay, actually, this is actually a really good point. Because I said so. I interpret this instantly as flirting, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, she might just be deflecting. So, I'm just going to be real with you. This is the difference between men and women. This is how men and women are so different. They're so fucking stupid. Oh, God, I'm guessing he means he received a pic. Oh, maybe. Hold on a second. This is the dumbest thing I'm about to do. Yeah, I don't really know. God could mean that he received something. I would need to see this. This
says, don't message me again.
This one is funny to me though, because like when I read this the first time, okay, so let's say I'm gonna pretend to be the guy. We're gonna do a thought experiment for how different men and women are. If I was a guy, this is me. I have a partner, by the way, but we're open. Is that okay with you? I get the response, well, seeing as I'm all the way in New Zealand, haha. Oh, LOL, do you got any pics for me? I'm horny. I'm in werewolf mode. Then I say LOL to make it seem like I'm just joking. Oh, hey, there's a bunch on my page. LOL. To me, it's like, oh, maybe she's got some risque pics on her page that she wants me to jack off to. Because men are stupid. For a girl, oh, hey, there's a bunch on my page probably means like, oh, you want pictures? There's a bunch on my page. Fuck off, right? This one is it's probably what it actually is. Because I've talked to my wife about how like men and men are so direct. It's one of those things where like, let's say you're in a one-on-one scenario, you're with a girl and you're like on the couch and like you're kissing or something and you go to like move forward and like fuck the girl and she's like, oh, I don't want to do that here. Like it's weird. You're like, oh, let's go to the bedroom. She's probably saying she doesn't want to fuck you, but you're just like, oh, it's because we're on the couch. Men are stupid, right? So like there's a difference in perspective there. That's what I'm seeing here. Because the first thing I thought was that like, oh, she was actually still interested and she's flirting back. But then it's like, wait, she probably isn't. But that's just because my wife says so. So this is one of those things. It almost supports his thing, where he's like he's a fucking dumb man. I hate to lean into it, but he seems like he's a dumb man.
And more messages where Lolo says, "I have a partner, by the way, but we're open. If that's okay with you." And the person replies, "Well, seeing as I'm all the way in
at least she's giving conformed consent here.
New Zealand." And Lolo replies, "Lol. Got any pics for me? Lol." And the girl says, "Oh hey, there's a bunch on my page." And Lolo says, "Lol." Classic Alvin replies, "Lol. Immaculate game."
True. 0 riz.
And Time Cardiologist says, "It hurts to see as a millennial." Lol. And Beneficial Action replies, "I feel like this was the kind of shit that I would see teenage boys always doing. It's extra gross to seeing an adult harass people in this awkward and nonchalant way. The Mr. Boot says,
he's being annoying. And I think Sex Pest works based on those two images, possibly. We didn't get to see enough from the first one, but like nothing predatory so far. He's just kind of, so far, the worst case scenario is he's just annoying, which doesn't mean it's good. He should be better with that, but like he's not like doing anything. We haven't seen any proof of him doing anything bad, like predatory.
Why are guys like this just so fucking cringe on top of everything else? It's like they never grew past being 12. And Danny Dragon Queen says, I don't understand the pestering of women for nudes. Like, just go look at the copious amounts of already available porn if you want to see a boob so badly, for fuck's sake. And Miss R replies, it's never always just about sex, it's also about power. They get high from the ability to get sensitive material from women and then use said materials to exploit them farther.
What, dude? Or maybe guys just like to jack off. Guys get off to getting sensitive material from women so they can exploit them further. Me personally, I love jacking off. That's what it is. I have a problem. I like it too much. You see how it gets predatory? Like, this guy's asking for fucking nude pictures, and all of a sudden he's looking to extort people of more nudes when it's more likely that he's just trying to jerk off.
Back over on Twitter, Can't Ever Die tweets out this statement with the caption, on Loloverruled. And it says, people have begun to discuss things Loloverruled/Alex, my former co-host on WK, is alleged to have done. We believe them. Prior to all of this, a few women unrelated to the discussions we've seen online, but who were nonetheless impacted by his actions, reached out to us about their experiences. After those conversations, we immediately parted ways with him.
Okay, do they have any proof? I'm going to have to lower back down to 1.5. Do they have any proof?
We didn't initially say anything when this started in order to preserve the anonymity and safety of those who came to us.
Because we exist in a time online where when people get uncomfortable, all of a sudden they've been predatorized and they're a victim of sexual assault. I'm not trying to be rude, but that is what happened. Like, he might be like a pest to these girls and be kind of like forward in a way that's like uncomfortable. Absolutely. That's probably true. I don't really know. But we've added a predatory angle to it. Like you saw just before, where they're like, oh, men ask for nude pictures so they can extort women. Okay. Or maybe like men want to jack off to pictures and you've decided to create a predator narrative because that's how you feel. It's not the same thing. We're not being proportionate. He sounds like he's probably a sex pest, but this idea that like he's predatory, I have not seen it in any capacity so far. Especially since some of these seem to be him messaging sex workers that are like flirting back with him. And then like the lines get blurred when it comes to sex workers and like conversations about sex. It's just it's difficult. It's not conventional. So it's difficult for people to navigate sometimes. But again, I need to see the DMs, which are refusing to show any meaningful DMs so far. We've gotten like one that doesn't show any of the pretext of their conversation, and then another one which is like a good example from what I see of him just being kind of like too forward.
They have plans to tell their stories on their own terms, but in light of everything, we're sharing this with their permission. We stand with everybody who's told their story and those who came forward to us. That they reach out to begin with is brave and an important part of keeping our spaces safe for everyone. In discussing this, we hope you all keep those impacted front and center. We also ask to not let your affinity for any specific creator or political leaning impact your willingness to listen to those who have spoken up. June, Alex Goldman, and Caleb. Soups replies, weird how Onion Person keeps being surrounded with these people. And your friend Thank You says, so does this just happen yearly with you guys or what? And Jeff replies, this is
I don't care about any of these people.
Behavior online with women. He apologizes for sliding into DMs and denies sending threats or unsolicited photos. And in this screenshotted statement, he says, this is not my full apology.
We already saw this in the first video. We don't need to see this again.
A lot of people do that. It's also entirely possible there were miscommunications. And
yeah. We don't care about that. What's the follow-up?
at all. And Dexterinox continues their post saying, a follow-up explanation of the apology deletion was posted and deleted. And it's Lolo saying, okay, clearly I need to apologize to people and don't know exactly how to do it. I'm sorry for being an asshole. I will say more later. Logging off. Alan West replies, the defamation mention is what really stuck out to me. Even saying I'm not suing still puts the idea out there that some of what's being said is false.
I don't care. Okay. Is this anything that relevant? It's just people speculating on it. I don't care about their speculations.
That'd be surprising to me, but it's incredibly disappointing. But I remember the age of enough guy to be making vague counter accusations. In a separate post now, Mango tweets out, this tweet is from October 2024, but I remember screenshotting it because it was so fucking gross. Honestly, the stuff coming out against Loloverruled, it should not be surprising to me, but it's incredibly disappointing. And it's a post he made where he says, running on opening the border to let in as many thick Latinas as possible.
Okay. That's the video. Him making a joke about how he wants to open the border for big booty Latinas to enter is apparently fucking gross. Is fucking gross, really disappointing, and a huge red flag. Okay.
But it's incredibly disappointing. And it's a post he made where he says, running on opening the border to let in as many thick Latinas as possible. And Mike says, honestly, anytime a guy does the whole stop ICE from taking away big booty Latinas thing, it should be considered a huge red flag.
Okay.
And Mango says, it is. And it's something I've even personally dealt with men saying to me. It's never not felt gross.
I don't care about you as a person. I don't care about any of these people. They're not people to me anymore. They're fucking annoying.
That's why when I saw him say this, I was taken aback because I used to be a fan. Shout out to our tier 3 members.
I'm over this. Not this guy. He just gives us the information. He's fine. I'm over this. This is fucking pathetic. These people are fucking idiot freaks. I'll see if there's more information before I end up actually posting this video. But like so far, this is dumb. And to your question, why on a personal level would you approach a sex worker differently when it comes to sex? Nobody's talking about approaching sex work. What I'm saying is that sex workers have different sexual boundaries than your average person. You want to know how I know that? Because they do sex work. They intertwine sex, an intimate act of sex, so at least socially in our society, a socially intimate act of sex with making money from it. So there's generally, especially from the sex workers I've talked to historically, there's a different boundary on sex. For them, it's different. Okay, we're not talking about approaching people. We're talking about talking to sex workers. Okay, so this whole thing so far, though, unless there's like explicit proof, is such a massive fucking nothing burger moronic mess that it's actually just like fucking hurting to watch this. This is so pathetic. And I don't even like Hasan, so I would probably not like this Loloverruled guy. But so far, this guy's been absolutely fucking dogpiled over some dumb bullshit. Okay.